Welcome to the show where stories unfold.
Let's go.
People doing big things, breaking the mold. They're changing the game, making waves every day.
Big move.
Shining bright with the work that is right.
Shine on.
This is Breaking the Silence with Nikki
Nikki Nicole in the
Nicole.
building.
Unleash your inner voice and make some
Turn up.
noise.
Welcome to the Breaking the Silence podcast with Arthur and Nikki Nicole. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell your cousin, tell your friend, tell your neighbor to come over here and break the silence with Arthur and Nikki Nicole. Welcome to another powerful episode. Sit back and relax. Enjoy the conversation.
Let me take you back for a moment. Picture a small town, dirt roads, corner stores, neighbors that feel like cousins, and everybody knows your business before you do. That was Mullen, South Carolina, my home. It's a Sunday morning. The smell of fried chicken from somebody's kitchen is already in the air, and me, I'm getting ready for church. Again, I wasn't just going to church. I was doing everything. Usher board, youth choir, Easter speeches, Christmas plays, you name it. I did it. Now, I didn't know back then, but all that showing up and preparing was preparing me for something bigger. I thought I was just a quiet girl from a quiet town doing what I had to do. I didn't know God was preparing me for the stage, not in the church basement, but a global platform. And here I am today on a mic speaking to you and sharing my story. I didn't even know I had a story worth telling. See, I grew up quiet, not because I didn't have thoughts, not because I didn't care. I just didn't feel safe speaking out. I didn't want to rock the boat. I stayed in my comfort zone, played my little role, basketball player, band member. I tried to be a good girl, but I wasn't perfect. But inside, I felt invisible sometimes, like my voice didn't exist. People saw the surface. I was active. I smiled. I showed up. But deep down, I was afraid to be seen for real. I was afraid to make noise, afraid to take up space. I dreamed of going into the military because I wanted structure, purpose, something bigger than what I could see. And while I didn't realize it back then, I was already in training, not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally. My mom, strong and spiritual, made sure I had roots. She taught me how to pray. She showed me what it looked like to trust God, even when things didn't make sense. And today, I have a faith that's unbelievable because of it. And those Sundays, I used to dread that church involvement. But now I thank God for all of it. Because when life hit and it was just me and God, I had a foundation to fall back on. Fast forward to just a year ago, I launched the Breaking the Silence podcast. I honestly didn't know what I was doing. I just felt this pull and this tug, this feeling that people needed space to tell their truth, to be real, to heal out loud, and to use their voice. But what I didn't see coming was that I was breaking my own silence. Every episode, every conversation, I felt myself opening up a little more. I started hearing my own voice in a new way, not the edited, filtered, church play version of me, but the real me, the one who had things to say, the one who wasn't afraid anymore to step out of their comfort zone. The podcast became my therapy. It became my purpose. It became the very thing I didn't know I needed. Let me be real with you. I never thought that, as people say, this little podcast would take me where it has. I've sat down with celebrities I used to just admire on TV. I've been invited to a red carpet event and walked into rooms that once felt so far away from my reality. But you know what? The wildest part isn't being in those rooms, it's realizing I belonged in them. I used to think people like me didn't get to get those opportunities, that people from small towns, from humble beginnings, who didn't have a million followers, we just watched from the sidelines. But God had other plans. And while I've had some beautiful wins, man, I've also had to let go of some people, face hard truths, and sit in uncomfortable seasons in my life. It's been bittersweet, with some doors opening and some closing, but every part of it has helped me grow. But here's what I want you to hear, especially if you've ever felt like your voice didn't matter. Just because you're quiet doesn't mean you're not powerful. Just because you're unsure doesn't mean you're not worthy. Just because you come from a small place doesn't mean you have to stay small. You might be sitting in your own version of Mullins, whatever your small town or quiet season looks like. You might be playing it safe, doing what's expected, but deep down, you know there's more. I'm here to tell you that you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need permission. You just have to start. Scared, unsure, shaking, just start. And to everybody who supported me, shared an episode, sent a kind message, told me to keep going, thank you. I truly mean that. Thank you. You've helped give me the courage to keep breaking the silence, not just for others, but for me. And if you've been riding with me, or if this is your first time hearing my voice, I want to invite you to keep walking this journey with me. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow the Breaking the Silence podcast page on Facebook. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. This is only the beginning. God's not done with this story yet. So I want to leave you with a question. What part of you have you been keeping silent? Is it your story, your gift, your truth, your healing? Whatever it is, it's time. If God can take a quiet girl from Mullins, South Carolina, and use her voice to reach the world, He can do the same for you. So don't wait, don't shrink, don't silence yourself any longer. Break the silence and watch what happens.